Hello, I'm Chris Keenan and welcome to Paws Up, the show all about a man's best friend. Coming up on today's show, we'll be chatting to Nolene Stevens about her salon Pooch Power, and she'll also be giving us a demonstration on a simple grooming technique that we can all do at home. We'll also be checking out what kind of activities and classes are out there for new puppies and old dogs alike. But first, let's talk about dog fashion. There seems to be more and more dog boutiques cropping up all over our high streets. So Paws Up goes to investigate Chili Dogs, a new shop that's just opened in the suburb of Charminster, here in Bournemouth.
Hi there, I'm Tash and this is Chili Dogs. And we started in January 2012, now into our third year of having a retail shop in Charminster, Bournemouth, and online as well. So the clothes is actually a fairly small part of the business. I mean, we started it initially with the harnesses, because lots of people walk their dogs on collars. If the dog pulls, they can actually damage their throat and also disalign the vertebrae in the spine. So we have small dogs, so that's why we really felt there was a need. The clothes is, covers everything from jumpers, t-shirts, dresses, to coats, even knickers and manor bands. And life jackets, actually, that's one that's quite important for us being on the coast. We also do quite a big range of gifts which are all doggy related, so clocks with wagging tails, we do door stops, also looking to get some jewellery in, so it's really quite a massive range. There's a massive different mix of people that come into the shop and all different age ranges. One of my favourite customers and probably one of my best customers is a little girl who's 12. She has actually Mocca's daughter, who's tiny, black Shih Tzu, and she has loads of clothes and beds and everything. Then there's the other extreme where I do have, retired elderly folk who have dogs so that they might want to keep them dry from the rain, so they're looking for raincoats or jumpers to keep the dog warm. There definitely is growth across the industry, which again was another reason for getting into it. I mean, if you look at America, they have far more choice than we do over here. And you are definitely seeing more and more people put clothes on their dogs, or definitely using, going for more fashionable rather than just practical. I would expect that the industry will continue to grow, and I would think that in 5 years we'll be looking at being somewhere else with more footfall, because we don't really have that here, although people do travel quite some distance. But yeah, definitely we would look to be in a busier area, and I would envisage that the online business really will have established itself by then.
Well, who would have thought there were so many items of clothes out there for dogs? It seems like dog fashion is taking over the world. Joining me now is Nolene Stevens and her dog Digby.
Hi Chris.
Welcome to Paws Up. So, I don't know the first thing about dog grooming at all, so you're going to tell me about what you do.
Okay, we run a grooming business in North Bournemouth, where we deal mainly with small fluffies, like Digby here.
Yeah, everyone's favourite dog.
Absolutely. We have the dogs in on a one-by-one system, so that they come in, they're groomed, and they go home. They don't have to wait around. Full personal
service then?
Absolutely, proper spa day.
No queuing about, waiting for your turn?
No, that's it. No.
And how long are they in for, each dog?
Around about 2.5 hours. It depends on the breed.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, sort of small Yorkies and things, not so long, but Digby, yes, he's probably with us for about 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours just to get your hair done? That's more than most humans.
Absolutely. It takes a long time to do it properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing it for?
We've been going since June 2006.
Yeah. So fairly established now then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And did you always have an idea that you might want to get into it, or was it something you just thought one day I'd take a different direction, or?
Yeah, I used to be in retail management, wasn't happy in it, have always loved my dogs. Went to college, did a course, 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
That's not something you sort of do lightly, is it?
No, it's not. And unfortunately in this country, at the moment, the industry isn't regulated, so anybody can set up as a dog groomer without any experience or training.
Which isn't really fair on the dog, is it?
It
really?
isn't at all. It's you know, it could be quite dangerous, you know.
It can.
You're working with scissors and sharp instruments with a moving.
Yeah. But I can see that you know what you're doing, because that's a beautiful looking dog.
He's a good boy.
And speaking of which, let's have a look at some other ones.
Okay.
So who's this one?
She's a Westie.
And these are all your customers, are they?
Yes, yes. She is in a breed-specific trim, so she has a Westie trim, that's the rounded face. The tips of the ears are clipped short.
Yeah.
The body is clipped smooth, or it can be stripped if they've got the right texture coat.
So is this specific to this dog breed? Like, is it like a known style for that dog?
Absolutely.
Oh,
yes.
right.
Each breed has its own breed-specific style.
But that took some learning.
Absolutely, yes.
I just thought people just had a go.
No.
Oh, here we go. That's like Digby.
Yeah, this is Poppy. She's a Lhasa Apso as well, as is Digby. She has her ears kept short because she tends to get them in her dinner.
Oh, right. Do you know what's funny? I always think of dogs as having a set length of ear, but you don't realise it's not really the ear, it's the hair.
Absolutely.
Yes. It's all interesting to me so far. Who are these?
These are another 2 Lhasa Apsos.
Longer ears.
Timmy and Poppy, yes, longer ears, but their coat is kept much shorter. They live out in the country, they get covered in all sorts of unmentionables.
Yeah, so it makes sense to keep it short.
It keeps them clean, and they keep short and clean, and it works for them, so, yeah.
Well, thanks a lot for the insight. We'll be back in a little while, and you'll be showing us some grooming techniques. Now though, it's time to see a little video from when Paws Up went to visit a puppy training class. So let's take a look.
I'm Denise Nuttall. I'm the owner of Paws in Hand Dog Training and Behaviour. I got into dog training about 15 years ago probably, when we had our last dog, who was a challenge. She was very, very difficult, and we did have some quite serious problems, and she became aggressive. So in my journey to try to solve the problems I had with my dog, I started to learn academically about dog training and dog behaviour.
But just so you know, I do take this very seriously. Dog training for me is something that's very important. We all want to live with a dog that is a nicely behaved companion.
So our job really in the puppy life skills is to make sure puppies are aware that there are other dogs around and that they're safe, to pay attention to their owners whilst they're in the presence of other dogs, and also to teach owners early management skills, such as being able to gently restrain the puppy so that they can receive veterinary treatment without getting into a panic over it, and to have their toenails clipped and things like that. Puppy classes are slightly different to the puppy life skills in that the puppy life skills is purely about social exposure and that early relationship. By the time they come to puppy classes, we're really needing to try to educate the puppies as well. But the aim primarily of the puppy classes is to educate puppies how to behave, so to be able to sit and stay, to be able to leave something when asked, to come back when they're called, to walk nicely on the lead, to behave under control in the presence of other people and dogs.
Let Maisie come and say hello to some of the other puppies, okay?
The techniques that we use for training dogs is called positive reinforcement techniques. So we use kind techniques, so the dog learns to perform a behaviour because they want to perform it and because they have an association that something good comes from when they do perform the good behaviour. It became a need initially for me to sort out a problem with my own dog, and then it became a passion. And I now run a dog training school where we'll work with training some 120 odd dogs a week in classes, and also and work as a behaviour counsellor trying to help people with really big problems with their dogs.
Well, Nolene and Digby are still here with us. So what are you going to show me today then?
I'm just going to show you the very basics of brushing and combing the coat out.
Okay.
It's something that all owners need to do with their dogs, even the short-coated ones, because it keeps the skin and the coat healthy.
I bet people don't know, do they?
Unfortunately, a lot don't. No, absolutely. But it is really necessary. So basically, you start off with a brush.
Yeah, I noticed you've got a couple of brushes there.
Absolutely. These are quite short pinned.
Yeah.
So they do get through the coat, but where there are areas that have particular friction areas, like just in the tuck up here, underneath the front leg, and behind the ears.
And I imagine things like harnesses cause that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. If the dog wears a harness, then the whole area around here, and if a collar, then around the neck.
And that would be a different brush.
Yes, you probably need to use something with a longer pin that actually gets deeper into the coat.
Oh, okay.
But how you tell that you've actually got through the coat properly is not with a brush, but afterwards you actually separate the coat.
Oh, all right, the comb.
And you comb through it. And
that
that
way, I can see the skin there, so you've definitely got all the way to the bottom.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's vital.
Lovely and soft, this dog.
Yes, he's a good boy.
Has he just been done?
No, he's actually due to be groomed tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Basically, that's the worst he gets.
This is it, but
well,
he has
if that's the worst he gets, then well, he's going to look magnificent tomorrow.
Absolutely. His owners are very, very good, and they keep.
Can I have a little groom?
Yes, absolutely.
There we go. Well, I'll start with this one.
Yeah.
And it's just a case of. Oh, you can tell that that's been looked after. That's just going straight through there. Oh, that's lovely. That really is.
He's a
very well-behaved dog as well.
He is. He's extremely well-behaved, aren't you? You're a good boy.
Well, thanks for showing us your grooming technique, Nolene. Digby looks amazing. But sadly, that's all we've got time for today. So until next time, goodbye.